What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 0 of the Cape Shit podcast. I'm one of your co-hosts, Hector, also known as CN6.
What up, y'all? I'm your other co-host. This is Hav.
But before we get into it, guys, I just want to let you guys know that you guys can listen to us on Spotify, Apple, Google, SoundCloud, and YouTube. Also, make sure you follow our socials at Cape Shit Podcast or go to capeshitpodcast.com. You're going to see all of our links and socials through there. Links will also be down in the description. But with that being said, guys, suit the fuck up because we're going to jump right into it, man. So yeah, welcome to the introduction episode. We're just going to give, a quick summary of who we are and what the podcast is going to be about. Hav, do you want to let the people know?
Take it away.
Yep.
All right, bro. So basically, y'all, like I said, this is Hav. I got me Hector. He goes by 6. And something that we want to just lay out right out the bat is that, a lot of times you listen to these podcasts and it's a group of guys that are all best friends and shit like that. But hey, man, me and 6, bro, we're more than just friends, bro. And I'm not talking lovers.
Yeah. Fuck it up.
No, fuck it with you. Oh, fuck. No, me and Hector, bro, actually, we're cousins, dude.
Yeah.
We're cousins, man, since day one,
Blood,
literally.
Man. Day one.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, bro. So me and Hector, bro, we're cousins, bro. We're actually the same age. We're apart by like maybe a month and a half, 2 months or something like that.
Yeah.
So, growing up, man, me and Hector, bro, we grew up real close. We both have the same like hobbies and interests and passions for a bunch of different things. And one of those things being the superhero genre.
Yep.
Because we felt as though that the superhero genre in any form, be it movies, television shows, video games, comics, whatever, has all played like a very big part in our lives, both childhood and onward. And basically, bro, since us being super close and have grown up together and having shared the same interests and passions,
Yep.
a lot of times over the years since we were like maybe like preteens, bro, maybe like 11, 12 years old.
Yeah.
Me and Hector, bro, we would just kind of, we would either link up on PlayStation or Xbox or something, or we would just be hanging out in person.
Or like family parties
And shit like that. We'd just be chilling. And, sometimes, man, we start to have deep, like, kind of thought-provoking conversations. Not so much about life or stuff like that, even though we would do that.
Yeah, even though we do. Yeah.
But a lot of times the conversations get sparked just by our interest, bro. And like I said, one of the biggest topics of that being the superhero genre. Well, sometimes we'll just reminisce on some of the memories that we hold on old nostalgic superhero movies that we grew up on.
Yeah.
Or we would talk about our issues of what we think the superhero movies are going wrong nowadays and stuff like that. And these are conversations that we've always had, man. And like, we would have these kind of conversations all the freaking time. And then it wasn't up until recently that we kind of thought to ourselves, more so Hector was the one that approached me saying, hey, man, like, we already like have conversations like this all the fucking time, bro. We just do it for fun. We do it for free, blah, blah, blah. Like, all we got to do is make one minor tweak, and that is just record the conversations and put them out. Because I'm sure people would be interested in listening to our convos.
Definitely.
So with that idea being sparked, that's how we got here today, basically. That's how we got here.
Yeah, to the Cape Shit podcast. And, I just want to give like a quick explanation on the meaning, of Cape Shit. As you guys know, Cape Shit is a terminology that's always been in the space of the superhero genre. And for many years, and honestly, it originated with like a negative connotation, Cape Shit. Like,
Cape Shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, like it's a mediocre, another superhero movie or whatever, all these different things. But I've noticed that it slowly started straying away from that. And I definitely want to stray away from the negative connotation and more so take Cape Shit, as in like superhero shit. Like, hey, yes, I like superhero shit, man. Let's get it. Instead
and
of
not have it so much connect to bad superhero stuff.
Exactly.
You want it to be overall, the overview of superhero should be called.
Yeah, like if you want to change the name to like a more kiddie friendly, would be just superhero stuff. Right? Like that's literally what we're talking about, superhero stuff. All right, guys. But it's just Cape Shit. Not only that, it fits with more of our style that Hav and I have. We have definitely a great chemistry, and we like to fuck around. We don't like to take things too seriously. Even though we sometimes do and we can, but we like to have fun, make jokes, laugh it up, chop it up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But let's get into what we're going to be doing with this podcast, guys. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be bringing a lot of content to you guys. One of them is going to be, reviews. We're also going to have discussion topics and even go over some current news in this superhero genre of what's going on. So if our goal, well, my number one goal, as I tell Hav, I want this to be the number one superhero podcast in the world out there. Like that's, and I know Hav is like, oh shit, right? But I definitely want that to happen, and I definitely see the vision, and hopefully we could get there. But another goal of mine is I want to review every single superhero movie, TV show, and maybe even video games. Who knows, right? And really cover everything from the MCU, the DCU, James Gunn's new DCU, old classic superhero movies, right? Even if they're bad or whatever. The Boys, Invincible. Even the DCAU, right, or the Marvel animated shows, the X-Men, like basically everything. That is my all-time goal that we have. Whether it's going to take 10, 30, 50 years, who knows, but that's definitely a goal that we have. And not only that, like I said, we're also going to have discussions, in-depth discussions, and one of them is that we already have planned out is why do we need Superman Legacy? And obviously, you guys know James Gunn. He's new head of the DC Studios. He's writing and directing Superman Legacy. And Hav and I, we're just gonna have an in-depth discussion as to what we look forward to and why it's so important for the new DCU, and just have in-depth conversations like that. Even another one that Hav came up with was, who is the best live action Spider-Man?
That's crazy.
And we'll bring up facts. We'll bring up, we'll just debate. We'll even have special guests as well that, they're really into that fandom as well. And we'll just have really in-depth discussions, topics like that. And we could also have suggestion topics from you guys. That'd be definitely cool. And not only that, we'll also be doing superhero news related stuff. So as of right now, what I plan is maybe taking 2 weeks worth of superhero news. So that'll be 2 podcasts in 1 month related to going over the current news in the world of the MCU, DCU, and just Hav and I give our thoughts and just go over it and break it down for you guys. And so yeah, that's like a ton of value that we're gonna be given to you guys. So yeah, just a recap, we're going to be doing reviews, discussions, cover superhero news. We're basically trying to be the one-stop shop for all things Cape Shit.
Yeah.
Right? That's essentially the goal. And our reviews are definitely going to be more really informative and stuff. And I'm going to let Hav take it away on what we're going to do for our reviews.
Yeah, so basically, like you said, it's going to be a little more informative in the sense that we want to not only give you guys our thoughts and our discussions on whatever the topic is, but we also want to try to give you guys maybe an element that maybe you guys probably didn't know or probably wondering and stuff like that. So that's why every time we review things, be it whatever it may be, movie, TV show, etc., we're going to have segments dividing up into our reviews and videos discussions. And normally it's gonna, as of right now, we only have about 3 different segments that we're thinking about adding in our videos. The first one is called Super Synopsis. So Super Synopsis will be a segment that we will include in our reviews. Basically what it is a 1 minute or less crash course of the origin of whatever characters are being brought up in the topic that we're talking about. So if we were to make a movie on, say, I don't know, a Spider-Man movie, any of them, right? We'll review any of them. We would give a super synopsis of the origin of Spider-Man in the comics so that people would be up to speed as to who the character is. That's super synopsis. Super Facts is the second segment that we'll include in our reviews, where I basically just list out some fun facts or Easter eggs that were missed or that you probably didn't even know regarding of the topic. And we're also going to include reading recommendations at the very end of our podcast, where we basically give you guys recommendations for comic book storylines. Not so much like our favorite comic books per se, but rather if we were to review a Spider-Man movie, we would give reading recommendations at the end of comic storylines that influenced or shaped the movie and the TV show that we are reviewing. So if we were to review a Spider-Man movie, we would give like maybe the top 3 to 5 comic book storylines that either played a part, shaped, or in a way is related storyline wise to the Spider-Man movie that we are reviewing.
Yep.
So those are the 3 segments that we plan to have in our reviews. That is super synopsis, super facts, and reading recommendations. And yeah, man, those are pretty much the segments that we're going to be including, man. And it's going to be really fun. I think I could really see these reviews having the potential of having a lot of just us having fun and enjoying it,
and a lot of value too.
and adding a lot of value as well.
If you're like new to this space as well.
Oh, absolutely.
You know?
I mean, we can be very informative. We can even,
Exactly.
maybe even introduce people who are not even in this fandom into the fandom type of way. I could
Exactly.
definitely see that happening. But I can already see the potential, man. I can see that this podcast will be super, super entertaining and fun to do, just because. Yeah, we're talking about our interests, we're talking about our passions, which is the superhero genre, right? All things cape shit. But on top of that, I feel like the other reason is because, something that maybe you guys don't know is that me and Six, we both have very unique strengths. Each of us are very good at our own things, and we feel like if we could combine our strengths together into this podcast, we can bring so much more value to not only the podcast, but to the people that are listening. Now, for example, if I were to list some of my strengths, one thing about me is that I am a huge movie junkie. Now, whether I've not either, even though I've never seen every movie in the world, I do know I have a lot of knowledge when it comes to movie making, and I have a lot of knowledge as to Hollywood stuff. I basically know just like little things, like just things that you would never really expect to know. Like, I know what box office money is. I know how much money a movie has to make or can make in order for it to guarantee a sequel. Like things like that you'd never think someone would ever like need to know in life.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to go your whole life knowing what that is.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that like knows things like that. I'm very well aware of a lot of filmmakers out there, a lot of different writers, and a lot of different directors and stuff like that. So whenever they're attached to a movie, I can always bring it up and either show my excitement or my concerns,
Right, exactly,
and stuff like that. Basically my knowledge and my strengths all come from like the filmmaking Hollywood side. I know basically a lot of things that go on in Hollywood. I know a lot of things that like how movies get made, why movies get made, what happens when movies have creative control against when they have limitations by the studio, what happens if a movie was wrongfully rated PG-13 when it should have been rated R. I just have a lot of knowledge as to how movies are made and like what could happen to movies just with all this knowledge that I have. But those are basically my strengths. So, which is going to come in handy when we review movies and stuff, because that'll definitely play a factor. However, because this is a podcast dedicated to cape shit and all things superhero, that is where the strengths of Six comes along. So you see, the strengths that my cousin has is that he has a lot of knowledge as far as the comic book world. Me, not so much, because I didn't really grow up reading comic books. Really, my first introduction to superhero genres, I think everyone's is at one point was the movies.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure, absolutely.
And but Hector was the only one who actually kind of went a step further than everyone else, and he actually went as far as to even read some of the OG storylines, and he actually knows a lot of knowledge as far as iconic, popular comic book storylines, or who characters are, or like how their origins differ from the comics than how it was portrayed on movies and stuff like that. So with my knowledge of how Hollywood works and how movies are made and all that stuff, combined with his knowledge of comic book lore and stuff like that, I feel like we were to combine our strengths together, we can definitely have those in-depth discussions that we've had when we were 13, 14 years old and stuff like that.
Creates that dynamic duo.
That's facts. It's one of those
Spider-Man
things.
and Daredevil.
Street level heroes.
Street level heroes, yeah. That's how we are, man.
But yeah, man, it's one of those things where it's because like there are certain things that I have knowledge for that come from my strengths that maybe Hector doesn't know about, and that I could definitely teach him a lot of things.
Absolutely.
Just based on my knowledge. And it goes both ways. Like there's a lot of comic book lore and things that I may not know about that he could teach me, and then I would be more aware of the topic and stuff like that. So it's definitely, a strength that we'd like to flex on you guys as well, but more so that we could feed off each other.
Exactly, bro. All the time, man. Every time when we have conversations like that, I feel like you always say something that I never knew. I'm like, what the heck? And I joke around. I'm like, Hav, you a movie encyclopedia? Like, how the hell do you know this? You know, Hav would say, hey, I haven't seen this movie, but he can recite it. Like how does that even possible, right? But yeah, guys, so that is gonna be what we're about, you know, the Cape Shit Podcast. We hope you guys join us with this journey. But yeah, guys, hang up your capes because that's going to be end of this episode. We hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening, and be ready for whenever we drop a new episode. Until then, wait for our signal. Take care, guys.
See ya.